Hey guys, Space Guru 5 here. Human society is rather intricate, isn't it? Interpersonal interactions happen on a constant basis in ways that can be amicable, antagonistic, or somewhere in between. It's just natural human socialization. Of course, the concept of Schadenfreude, pleasure from others' pain or misfortune, is a rather unique human interaction, and it's understandable why those on the receiving end wouldn't be so receptive to it. However, people have their own ways of dealing with it. This leads me into today's subject. Today I'll be commentating on a video by SadieTheCultist222 in which she rants about quote-unquote normal people. Will she have any valid points to make about human behavior, or will she just project her pain onto others? Well, to find out, let's tune in and start slicing away.
Alright, so this video is going to be about why I hate normal people now. So I'm going to explain it in a blunt way, and hopefully I'll go on from there. So, reasons why I hate normal people.
And right off the bat, this video seems to be unscripted. Always a good sign. Can't wait to see how unstructured, meandering, and roundabout this video will turn out to be.
Okay, well, see, people could be like, what's normal anyways? Let me tell you. Someone who thinks unoriginal and simple. Someone who talks unoriginal and simple. Someone who dresses bland. Someone who believes in orthodox, by-the-book checklist things. Someone with a vanilla sexuality. Someone who is 18 plus and doesn't like cartoons or anything like that. The list goes on.
You know, for someone who gets after quote-unquote normal people for talking and thinking too simplistic, you sure are talking and thinking too simplistic yourself. So much of this is too vague for me to properly address it. In fact, one of the only two remotely specific things I picked out was adults not liking cartoons, and even then that's still way too vague. Plenty of cartoons exist for adults as well. For example, BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, South Park, The Cleveland Show, Futurama, Metalocalypse. Need I go on? Cartoons are not meant for just one demographic. Cartoons are a medium that can be enjoyed by anybody. I hope I've set that straight. The other thing was vanilla sexuality, which is a term often used in reference to sexual activity that doesn't involve BDSM, kinks, or fetishism. However, later in the video you specify that you are bigender and gender fluid and that you've been made fun of for this fact, so this implies that you are referring to cisgendered heterosexual people as vanilla. So not only are you being vague as hell about why you hate normal people, but the only two things that aren't so vague are erroneous and potentially cisphobic or heterophobic, respectively. This is gonna be fun. I feel like I say that every single video.
Normal people hate imagination and hate things that have been discovered or invented. They make fun of certain styles and people who are just weird and or different in general. This is just the textbook definition of normal. If you are weird and or different, then we must make fun of you.
Normal is a term that is ascribed to statistical averages, as well as what is expected of a set of data. For example, it's normal for a person to have 2 hands. It's normal for a person to know how to speak a language. It's not normal for a person to have neurological or developmental disorders, otherwise they wouldn't be considered disorders. I'll delve into that one later. Eccentric is a term that is ascribed to people and things that are unconventional and slightly strange, because they deviate from the norm. Given the context here, I have to assume that this is what you meant by weird, which is pretty much synonymous. The words normal and weird are not pejorative, and treating them as such is ridiculous. From what I understand, the only reason you're doing this is because of teasing and bullying. Now look, teasing is not an inherently bad thing to do. It's how a group of friends socializes on a normal basis, because it shows mutual trust and understanding, and it harbors a sense of camaraderie that is normally present in friendships. So how do we know that the people making fun of you were just doing it as a sign of friendliness and you elected to take things too personally? If it was friendly teasing and you didn't particularly like it, you can just let them know that you don't like being teased like that. If they're good friends, then they'll actually stop. If this was bullying, then you have the option of seeking a counselor or any faculty members at a school, or you have the option of blocking the person causing you grief and reporting their behavior if this is online. I hate to say this, but your victim complex isn't going to get you anywhere in life. You really need to learn how to take responsibility for yourself and stop blaming everyone else for your problems. In the adult world, you're going to have to make your own decisions and think for yourself. You can only hide for so long. And as for normal people hating imagination, discoveries, and inventions, yeah, it's citation desperately needed here. Yet again, you're being too vague. Get used to that, folks.
And normal people think it's cool to make fun of socially anxious or socially awkward people. Or just people that can't get along with others in general, that don't start shit, because I can't get along with people, but I don't start shit.
Oh yes, because making a 6-minute diatribe about why you hate normal people is by no means causing any fracas. And again, refer to my point about teasing and bullying. I don't exactly agree with picking on socially anxious people, but if it's not done out of malice, then there's no real problem to be had here. Context is key.
Normal people think it's cool to make fun of people who dress a certain way, who listens to certain music. Because, oh, they live the great business suit matrix life. Oh, I have to dress bland. Oh, if you dress in all black or you dress psychedelic, you know? I can't have that. I have to drink my black coffee. Oh, no, you know?
Dude, people always pick on things they don't really understand. That's just how they learn to cope with it. Also, your sweeping generalization of normal people as being white-collar office workers is ludicrous, especially since there's loads of other career fields. For example, manufacture, education, construction, information technology, the arts, engineering, and so on. While there was a sharp increase in professional and business services and a sharp decrease in construction jobs just this past February, there's still a whole host of other job fields that must be taken into consideration, as highlighted in this chart. All links are in the description. Seriously, man, do your research and stop generalizing. Please.
Normal people think it's cool to make fun of anything that's weird and or different or creepy or disturbing. They, like, oh no, we cannot, like, they can't handle scary movies. They can't handle that. They can't handle monster-eating people. They can't handle that. They're like, that's too much for me, man.
Well, in 2018, the top 35 highest-grossing horror movies earned a total of over $900 million and sold over 100 million tickets. Viewership numbers for Netflix aren't publicly available, though the streaming of horror movies is definitely certain, and I think it's safe to assume that this is common. You're generalizing again. Stop it.
All they want to do is and have kids, and that's so boring. Like, okay, wow. I mean, if that's your life, do it, dude, but it gets kind of fucking boring. Like, that's it. I don't know, man.
If someone's main goal in life is to start a family, then that's their own choice. It might not be your own choice, but you don't get to judge people based on that discrepancy alone. I mean, seriously, if you're gonna get your knickers in a knot over people supposedly judging you for your lifestyle choices, then you should definitely practice what you preach. No excuses.
Normal people make fun of people that cherry pick it. Oh, they say cherry picking is bad. I say do whatever you want, just as long as it's good. And it's not harming yourself or others. Like, you know? Like, please yourself, you know what I mean?
Well, you literally just now judged people for their own life choices that don't harm anybody, so I'm not too sure how well you abide by that. Also, cherry picking? What are you talking about?
A lot of the normal people like to make these, like, cringe compilations of people like me. Because we're weird, because we believe in weird things, because we act weird, because we like, our interests are weird, or our beliefs are weird, or we act weird, or we say something weird. It's bullshit. All of the people that make those cringe fucking videos, all of them are normies. They can't handle it.
Well, so much for comedy. One person got offended by cringe compilations, everyone. We can't make jokes about anyone because that might hurt their feelings. God forbid we challenge people's sensibilities with humor and actually make them think like reasonable adults. Honestly, what is the point of getting so defensive about comedy? If you can't take the joke, then stay out of the comedy club. Don't ruin the fun for everyone else. That's unbelievably selfish and recalcitrant.
Oh no, some guy thinks he's mentally a child. Yeah, what if you had a trauma, okay? The dude is traumatized and he wants to play with trucks. Who fucking cares? The dude has a blanket with him. Like, who the fuck fucking cares? Yeah, if he's 20 years old, he's fucking traumatized. Or maybe there's another reason why he mentally regresses. Who fucking cares?
Who cares? The National Institutes of Health cares. Psychiatric disorders aren't considered disorders because of some stigma placed by society, although that stigma certainly does exist among the less informed. They are considered disorders because they interfere with a person's development and social skills, both of which are crucial for day-to-day life. You're insinuating that we should just not care about people with such disorders, and you even advocate for their patterns of behavior to continue, despite all the detriment it can and will cause to their overall health. Yeah, real sound advice there, Dr. Phil. Honestly, this point is just egregious. How could you think this was acceptable?
I am bi-gender. I am, like, gender fluid. It's like, who cares? Let people be what they fucking want to be as long as it's good and they're doing good and everything is good. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? People, fucking normal people make fun of me because of how I act and how I talk. Like, who cares, dude? This is why normal people either need to be converted to being different, or they need to live on their own island. And then my people also get their own island.
Evidently you care, seeing how you made this video as a reaction to people making fun of you, and you've elected to project your victimization onto everyone else. This is only a testament to how overly sensitive you are, and I'm surprised you don't even realize what you're doing. I'm sorry that your feelings were hurt in the past, but this is not the way to go about it. Tucking yourself into a corner and blaming everyone for your suffering is the antithesis of helping you cope with your situation. Ignoring your problems won't make them go away. You need to get a grip and start acting like an adult. Because right now you sound like an angsty teenager hiding under a subterfuge on the internet. Again, see how far that gets you in life.
This is people, I'll follow people that say, what is normal? What is normal anyways? What is normal? I'll tell you, I just told you, dude. I'll say it again. You really want to know what normal is? Normal is by the books. A bland person in this bland and boring society, where you have to walk in a straight line.
Who's telling you that you have to do everything in a specific way? This isn't George Orwell's 1984, this is the real world. Nobody is telling you not to be yourself. Nowhere is it codified in any implicit societal doctrine that everything and everyone has to be 100% all the same all the time. Also, I'd be doing an injustice if I didn't point out the irony here. You're complaining about conformity in society, so your solution is to not conform to that conformity, thus becoming an agent of conformity. Get over yourself.
Normal people, they think one way. They are one way. They are tunnel. They are narrow. They will never understand the weird, wild flowers, the wildflowers, the wallflowers. You know, they don't get it.
Oh, I see how it is. Look, everyone, I'm different from the norm, so therefore I'm special, and you have to treat me like I'm special. I've just misunderstood, and the normies are to blame. Gag me!
So that is why I hate normal people. Because they live an orthodox, organized life. And there's nothing wrong with living an organized life, but it's like, it's just so boring. Like, I see these people all the time.
And there you go, judging people again, despite you clearly being against judgment yourself. Oh dear.
So that is, you wanna know what normal, that is normal people. Hopefully I did a good job explaining why I hate normal people.
Well, let me put it this way.
No.
And that's the way this Roadrunner runs. Okay, for real though, this was bad. I mean, bad. Not only did you project your own problems onto everyone else, but in effect you've declared a war on the normies because of isolated instances of bullying or teasing in the past. As I've stated before, there's proper ways to deal with both, but victimizing yourself and others is the least helpful thing you can do. And it's not like I'm coming at this without any personal experience myself. I had to deal with a considerable amount of bullying in my past, and I'm still feeling the effects today. But you know what? I'm learning to cope with it and not to blame everyone else for my problems. I'm an adult now, and it's something I need to do if I want to make it anywhere in this world. At some point, you're going to have to start making a positive change to yourself. This self-isolating behavior isn't going to solve anything, and it's only going to delay your maturity. I strongly suggest you be real with yourself and learn to move past everything. It'll be a long journey, but it won't start until you take that first step. Never be afraid to ask for help along the way. Trust me, I've been there. That's about it for today, folks. I'm Space Guru 5, and as always, take care.
Here I lie on my deathbed, recalling things said as my world slips away.